What's up guys, it's Eric from B-Sign. Today we have here a Toyota Sienna. We're going to be installing our plug and play S-Connect CarPlay Android Auto retrofit kit. It's a plug and play installation, very easy to install. We've done this video before about 3-4 years ago. It's been a while, so we want to redo our video because the harness looks a little bit different and the two modules also looks a little bit different as well. In addition to that, the functionality also changed a little bit, so just wanted to remake the video, show you how to install it again and show you how to operate it as well. So let's not waste any time, get in the car and get started. All right, so now that we're in the car, let me go over the tools we're gonna be using today. So we have a power tool with 10mm socket. If you don't have a power tool, no problem. Just make sure you have a 10mm socket. I always have a magnetic tip. It's not required, but it's nice if you do have one with a magnetic tip. And then we have a panel removal tool, larger size to remove the top dash. We also have a smaller panel removal tool just in case we need it. We might need a Phillips screwdriver, I'm not sure. We have this handy if we need it. And we also have some zip ties to clean up the wires, cables, and also a little side cutter. And we might also use some double-sided tape and some foam tape as well. All right, so the first step we want to do is we want to remove this. So you can use a panel removal tool. You place it back here and push it out, or you could just grab a hold of this and pull it towards you. Okay, all right. Next, we are going to remove the shift knob here. Just turn this counterclockwise. And next, we are going to pull this whole panel piece out. This garnish here will have to come out as well. You don't have to completely remove it, but you will have to remove the clips on the sides. Go ahead and do that. Okay, just leave it like this. And okay, and there's a connector back here. It's for your light. Stick your finger back here, left hand, press down the release tab and disconnect it right here. So make sure you don't forget this. Okay, and then after remove that. All right, and then go ahead and push down this release lever here using your left hand and move the shift lever down so that you can straighten out this panel and just move it straight out like so. And then once you get it pulled out, you'll notice there's another connector back here. So let's also disconnect this, press down our release tab, and then just disconnect. All right, so once we get that out, this exposes the radio and the 4 bolts, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So let's remove those 4 using the 10mm socket. So you're gonna be turning him counterclockwise. All right, now the radio is ready to get pulled out. Before we do so, grab a thick towel. We have a thick sweater here. Towel is better, and just tuck it in. Cover your shift lever and this area here, because you do not want to scratch the interior of the car. And just take note of all the bracket location, because that's the sharp parts, and that's the part that will scratch your interior if you touch anywhere. So lay it like this, and then that will expose the connectors that we're going to be working on. All right. So the first thing we want to do is let's go ahead and connect this harness here. As you can tell on this main harness, there's 3 connectors. So the male side will connect to the radio, and the female side will connect to the original connectors that were connected to the radio. Let's be careful not to get these wires and cables tangled up. You want to try to keep them as organized as possible. And after we connect the connectors, we'll zip tie them and reorganize them to keep them all pretty straight so that they won't cross over or tangle up with any of the factory cables. All right, so looking back here, it's going to be this connector. It's gonna be this, this, and also this. So let's begin by disconnecting them all. Always press down the connector and press down the release and then pull out on the connector. Don't pull on the cable. You could just wiggle this left and right, left and right. Okay, grab our harness. Let's connect the female side and then the male side to the radio. And we're going to do that for our other connectors as well. Okay, make sure you press these connectors in pretty firmly to ensure it goes in all the way. Okay, once all this is connected, all we have to do is connect our 2 boxes. But before we connect the 2 boxes, I do want to route this cable. Okay, this is our antenna, and the antenna cable, we are going to route it down towards the driver's side here, and we're going to stick it behind one of the panels back there on the side. So if you stick your head down there, you'll see that there's actually an opening that takes you all the way to the bottom. go down below and find it. Okay, here it is. Let it hang there for now, and I'll put it behind that panel later. All right, so the top part will be up here. We got the antenna cable routed. We connected the main harness, and next is going to be our USB. So for this customer, we are going to utilize this USB optional adapter. It's an optional item that you could purchase when purchasing this product, which basically this allows you to do is your factory USB connection here. This will get converted to the wire CarPlay. You can also use it to charge your phone. It'll charge faster at 2.5 amp. If you do not want to lose the factory functions of this, don't install this. If you're not using the factory USB, then it'll be wise to do this, to use this USB adapter. If you want to keep the factory USB function and just route a separate USB cable, you can also do that. The kit comes with its own USB extension cable. And if you want to route the USB extension cable, you could route it here to your glove box, or you could just bring it down here. If you wish, you could just go ahead and route it to anywhere you like. For this customer, let's go ahead and use this USB adapter. And when using this USB adapter, you want to find the necessary connector behind the radio. So if you look all the way down to the bottom, this one's located here. Towards the left, the bottom, it's a great connector. You can disconnect the other connectors around it just so it's easier to reach. So let's disconnect this GPS. Here it is right here. Just press down on this. Okay, pull it out. Okay, so here it is. Here's a USB. So we're going to grab our USB adapter here. Going to connect it like so, and this side will connect to our module later when we're connecting everything back. Sweet. So we have all the parts that's needed to connect to the factory radio all connected. So next step is to connect it to these two boxes. There's plenty of room back here where you can mount these two boxes, so you don't have to be concerned about having enough room. So first, let's go ahead and connect our dip switch box. And how we're going to do that is we're going to grab in our harness this connector here. Once again, try not to tangle up your cables and wires. All right, so here it is. All you have to do is connect it like so. And on the other side, all we have to do is connect our HDMI cable. Okay, and then this HDMI cable will connect to the other box. So this is all the connections for this dip switch box. Let me use some zip ties and organize this because the cable is a bit long and we don't need this many cables. So I'll use a zip tie here, and then I'll also organize the other cables with it. And then let's grab our second box. So there's gonna be more connections on this. Connect our power cable first. It goes here right next to the HDMI plug. And before I connect that HDMI plug, let me connect the other connectors. There's two 3.5mm jack. One is labeled microphone, the other one is labeled auxiliary. So the one that's labeled microphone will connect to mic in right next to the USB connector. And then the other one that's labeled auxiliary, AUX, will connect to line out right here at the edge. Do not connect to external speaker. And then we have the USB cable that we connected to the radio earlier. The other side will connect to module. And then the antenna that we routed down to the driver's side will connect here. Okay, and lastly, these two HDMI will connect to each other like so. And now all we have to do is clean up the wires and cables, organize them, find a place for it behind here. There's plenty of room, and reverse order everything we did, and that will conclude the installation. A lot of excess wires. Let's go ahead and find location for it. Okay, the important thing is you don't want these boxes to move around when it's mounted. And when you're mounting it, be very careful so that the connection points are not stressed in any way. If you damage the boxes, it might not be repairable. Okay, it's on there pretty good. Looks like it's not gonna move around. Perfect. Okay. And make sure to reconnect all the connectors and cables that you removed during the installation. All right, and when you're pushing the radio back in, make sure you're not pinching any wires or cables. Take extra note of connector location, all the harness locations, and your factory bracket locations. Okay, and let me just do a quick test on this. So we're gonna test it with our wire connection. Press and hold the hang up button. All right, there it is. What's the weather?
has issued a high wind warning.
All right, so we went ahead and tested. Everything looks like everything is working the way it should. So let me reverse order everything I just did, and that will conclude the installation. And I'll do a quick demonstration of how everything works. All right, guys. So now that we finished installing, let me show you how everything works. First, turn on your car. All right, so everything about the car is going to be exactly the same. You didn't lose any factory functions. Your backup camera worked just fine. Even when you're in CarPlay Android Auto mode, the backup camera will continue to function. Before we start, we want to make sure you're in Bluetooth audio mode. If your phone is not connected to the car's Bluetooth, this is time to do it. Most likely, it will connect automatically. So how to do this is go to your home, go to your settings, home, settings, go to Bluetooth, add, and then go to your phone and go to your phone's Bluetooth and go ahead and search. You'll find Toyota Sienna. I'm not gonna allow the contacts because it's not our car. All right, looks like it's connected, it's perfect. And once it's connected, you wanna go to your steering wheel controls. Okay, this is how you switch to the CarPlay screen. Before we did a double press on the power button. Now we press and hold the hang up button. There it is. And when you do that, you'll come up to this 3 icon screen. And once you're at the 3 icon screen, go back to your phone, go to settings, go to general, go to CarPlay. It'll say NV17W dash combination of letters and numbers. Okay, go ahead and pair. Okay, you could allow it if it's your car. All right, and there it is. And allow NV17W to check for CarPlay apps. Go ahead and allow it. And then you can lock your phone after that. And here it is. All your touchscreen controls and all that works normally. Okay, and one thing you want to check is your Siri volume. We want Siri volume to be similar to the music volume. What's the weather? Okay, it's very quiet. How you adjust the Siri volume? First, see what level your main music volume is. So you could do so by increasing, decreasing the volume level here. So it's at maximum right now on the phone. And we'll go to your phone. We're gonna go back to your sound and haptics. Make sure your change with buttons is turned on. Press and hold the right power button, which will summon Siri, and then you could adjust your Siri volume. Okay, so I wanted to match my music volume and I raised the Siri volume all the way to max as well. So a quick test. What's the weather?
The National Weather Service
there it is. Sounds pretty good. Okay, that's exactly what we wanted. Okay, another thing you could do is if you want to adjust the screen resolution, make some adjustments with the screen brightness and contrast, you definitely can do so. So you want to press and hold the hang up button on steering wheel control, go back to your factory screen. Okay, press home, go to your setting, go to display, go to camera, and this is where we're gonna make the adjustment. Seems like there's some adjustments made to this already, and it actually looks pretty good. So you could just press and hold the hang up button just to go back and forth, right? Looks pretty good, not too bad. Our map applications looks pretty good too. And if you like, you can change your map to night mode or dark mode, which actually shows the street names better and the street lines better. Or you can also use the Waze app. Waze actually shows pretty well too. And let me show you how the Apple Maps look. Could just set it.
Proceed to CA 39 South, then turn left.
Okay, and route. And say that someone gives you a phone call, you can also use your steering wheel controls to pick up and hang up the phone. You can also adjust the volume up and down here. So just note that you don't see the change on the car screen. Okay, you can also adjust from here as well. Okay, and you can also do track up and down from the steering wheel control as well. And let me show you how the calling works. Okay, pick up and then hang up. There it is. All right, guys, well, that concludes our installation demonstration video of this Toyota Sienna, our S-Connect plug-and-play CarPlay Android Auto retrofit. This also works with Android Auto as well. It works exactly the same. If you have any questions, leave a comment below, or you can email us at info@bsonicusa.com. And if you'd like to purchase this today, you can visit us at bsonicusa.com and just look for the product number TAV-CB2W. All right, guys. Well, thanks for watching. And if you haven't yet, help us by subscribing and liking our video. I'll see you guys in the next video.